My name's Wellington-Chapman. I'm co-director of the New Zealand Centre for Sustainable Cities. I'm normally hang out at Victoria University, but the New Zealand Centre for Sustainable Cities is a network across a bunch of universities and some Crown Research Institutes and other agencies. I'll talk briefly about the Centre and its work on resilient urban futures and then pass over to the speakers. This is one of a series of seminars that we've had here at the Adam Auditorium, highlighting the work of the Centre and pulling in and embracing commentators, discussants, people like Ray Wallace, Mayor of Hutt City, and others who can put our work in perspective. So thanks for coming along. And what I'll do is briefly say a few words about the Centre and the Resilient Urban Futures Program. So the Centre, as I said, is a network of researchers focusing in on cities. And don't forget that 85% or so of us work and live in towns and cities. So that's where most of us do most of our stuff. So it's important. It's an important area of research. The sort of questions we're asking in this Resilient Urban Futures Program, which is funded by MB, is for example, which potential urban futures will result in the most resilient, livable and competitive cities? Resilience and sustainability are closely aligned in our minds, although not exactly the same thing, so we explore that. It's a 4-year research program and it's led by the New Zealand Centre, but it does involve other contributors, contractors and so on. There are about 40 or so researchers in the Centre and the program, coming from a variety of perspectives. Philippa, of course, is a public health researcher. She's director. I'm an economist. We have geographers. We have a bunch of people from all sorts of areas. Arthur Grimes here today is an economist as well, from Motu Economic and Public Policy Research. So it's quite a diverse group of people. That has led us to, take a more multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary sort of approach to these issues. So we're looking at environmental, economic, cultural, social impacts of our cities and the way we can make them more sustainable, livable, resilient. So I'm going to talk briefly about the 3 speakers and then I'll introduce them, get them started. So Philippa Howden-Chapman, you may have heard before, is Professor of Public Health at Otago. She's worked in a range of areas. Most of her research work has been around housing and health, warm, dry homes, and trying to find solutions to make those houses more sustainable and healthier. There's a lot about her on the web. If you care to follow it, I will just leave it there, as she's pretty well known. Arthur Grimes is an economist at Motu Public Policy Research, and he's got a background in the finance sector, the private sector, and the public sector. He's done all sorts of illustrious things with the Reserve Bank, Financial Markets Authority. He's now an adjunct professor at Victoria University, has been at Auckland University before, continues his work with Motu, which is, as you know, is an independent sort of think tank. We're pleased to have him here to lend a sort of hard economic perspective, if you like, on some of these issues around infrastructure and their importance for cities. And other factors that go into making cities grow. Ray Wallace, thanks for coming along, Ray. And he's, as you know, the Mayor of Hutt City. For the last 10 years, I think, 15 years as a councillor, held various senior positions on council committees, including Chair of Operations and Compliance, Community Grants, Community Services Committee, Heritage Advisory, and also with a very strong background in community work of various sorts. Fire Brigade, Food Bank Appeals, Youth Awards, JP for 16 years. That's a long time, signing all those affidavits or whatever people do. Delighted to have all three speakers here, and we're going to kick off with Philippa.